Hello everyone, this is Yasir Khan, and the day has finally come. We're finally going to finish building the PC I promised you guys last time. I know it's been ages since the first video came out, but like a wise man once said, better late than never. In this video, we're going to put all of the parts together and we're going to find out whether a non technical person, like many of the viewers, can easily build a PC at home or not. You'll also see me meeting some hiccups and surprises along the way, so stay tuned to find out what happens. So let's dive straight into it. All right, so we have the motherboard here on top of the box because it has very sharp pins at the bottom of it, which can hurt the table. Table can hurt it. Now the trickiest part is putting the CPU inside the motherboard itself. I've watched a bunch of videos on it. I hope should be fine. Should be fine. Let's see. Fingers crossed. I heard it's a very delicate matter because the pins on it, the pins that where the CPU rests, those pins are very delicate, and CPU itself obviously is very delicate as well. Wow, it's quite heavy for its size. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alright, the CPU is installed. Let's go. Okay, should be fine. We'll know after all the parts are in. We will start with M.2 SSD. We're gonna add that here. The motherboard comes with its own thermal guard for the SSD. So apparently SSD does make a lot of heat. Finding out a lot of things in the making of this video or this PC. We have the SSD here, the lightest thing on the PC right now. 1 terabyte in 10 grams. That is insanity. What has the world come to? So I'll go ahead and insert it in. This is the heatsink on top, so we'll remove the cover. Okay. So now we have the CPU done. We have the M.2 SSD done. Okay. So next up is the RAMs themselves. There are two 16 GB RAMs, and I think this is probably the easiest part of the whole build.
Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, so this is it. I just have to line it up properly. No, it's the other way. No, it was the correct way. Oh Lord. Let's see if it fits. Somehow both the ways are not quite correct. This is definitely not fitting. There's something not quite right. As you guys can see, there's a hole here which is supposed to fit into one of the holes in the slot, but somehow it's not lining up. Let me try some other slot. Oh, it says DDR5 and this is DDR4. Alright, it's time for some more research on this. Let's see. You guys will not believe it. This RAM does not fit into this motherboard. That's so funny. Basically it's DDR4 and this is a DDR5 RAM slot. So it's like, you know, getting a wolf and a dog married. It's not gonna happen. They're just not compatible.
Am I a joke to you?
Alright guys, another day, another purchase. Because if you remember last time, not last time, I'm sure this video is in a continuous mode for you guys, but for me it's been a week now. Yeah, so we messed up with the DDR4 RAM and it didn't fit at all. So I had to go get the new DDR5. The good thing is, like, obviously I am happy with the fact that I'm getting a faster RAM now. But yeah, the video got delayed because of that. But it's fine.
I'm hurting, but I'm good.
So this is the DDR5 32GB 6600 megahertz with some nice RGB lights as well. The last one was 3600 megahertz. So it's almost double the speed. Alright, let's go ahead and open it. I'm gonna try and open it cleanly because the last one that I opened, I ripped it open, and now I have to sell it. So, huh. The problem is that they're white. The whole setup is black. I did not think of that part. I did not think of many parts before this. Okay, let's go ahead. Beautiful. Beautiful indeed. Here we go with the second one. Voila. Voila, voila, voila. Or viola. Or voila. I don't know. Ho gaya kaam. So guys, this is what the case looks like. It's basically an ATX, or you could call it mid tower. It's like one below the biggest tower that they had. And I did that. I made it a big size because of expandability. Then later on, I can add more and more things. It's also a very airy case, so it'll keep things cool and clean as long as I have like enough breathability inside. Which I think with the 14 fans that I have, I think I have enough. Yeah, so it's like glass on this side and this side, which means that it's a nice. You can see like all the RGB from both sides. It has like a few USB B and C and an aux port plus the power button here in the top section. There were a few cases with these things at the bottom, which is obviously not a great place unless you're putting it at the top of your desk. Then it's a nice place to put it because then you can just connect things directly. But I don't think this massive mid tower case is gonna go on top of the table for me. Probably maybe at the bottom, maybe at the start I'll put it at the top to see the nice RGB lights. Just the honeymoon period for the first few months. I feel. It turns out this case is quite big, quite massive, because the size of the motherboard seems to be a lot smaller than how much space there is. Let's add in the motherboard. This is supposed to go directly inside like this. This part, which is where all the USBs and all the ports are, it comes on this side, and we just have to line up the screws. We see how small the motherboard is compared to the rest, so there's also more screw options here as well. Okay. Oh, I love the magnetic screwdrivers. Absolutely incredible. Honestly, I have no indicator of success right now. I don't know if it's even going in. And my hands are wobbly. And my attention is everywhere. The two things that you need to get this job done. Okay, I think that works. So now we're gonna add the fan on top, the radiator plus fan for the CPU cooler, and we're gonna screw it in, and then we're gonna try to keep the cables at the back so that we can do cable management later, and then later on we're gonna add the CPU cooler on top of the CPU after adding the thermal paste. So let's get started on that. So this is the gorgeous fan, if you guys remember. So we have to be pretty careful here. So I'm gonna keep two screws handy with me, because while I'm holding this, I'm gonna add one to the top right corner and one to the bottom left corner, so that I can just do the rest easily and it holds without me having to hold it in place. We'll use the magical magnetic abilities of the screwdriver. Oh, we have to keep the wires out first. I could have done it in an easier way as well. I could have laid the thing down, but now we're too deep into it. Almost. Okay. Okay, if I leave it, oh my god, I've been pushing onto the RAM. This was not a good idea. Okay, hopefully it doesn't fall while I go away. I feel like the screwdriver is too big for this job. Look at the size of the nail and look at the size of the screwdriver. This poor PC is at my mercy. I'm not the right guy to be at the mercy of. Okay, amazing. So we have this exhaust, and then so the fan is at the bottom, and the rule is like if you want to figure out like what is the direction of the air, is you basically say faces suck. So the face of the fan is at the bottom, so the face is sucking the air out, and this is the radiator. So it's going to be pulling out all of the hot air, and hot air usually collects at the top. So that's why the exhaust is at the top as well. Here we go with the what feels like to me the toughest part, applying the thermal paste onto the CPU. Mainly because it's like the main like component of the computer, right? And if you mess it up, you like, I don't know, you can't even like open the system. But let's see. I'm sure it's been done like at least a billion times before me. So it's like this injection syringe that we're gonna use, and it comes with a spatula as well to apply the paste. We're gonna be artists for the day. I was never good at painting classes. Yeah, but we're also not drawing a Mona Lisa, right? It's just applying thermal paste on a surface, on a flat surface, 2 by 2, 1 by 1 inch. Okay, you first have to figure out how to open it. Life is never simple, right? They had to add this level of difficulty to open it. Which reminds me, like these some of these restaurants, when they send a delivery, like a juice in a delivery, juice glass, right? And it's like a plastic thing, and they add like 16 layers of tapes on top of it. So before you start eating dinner, you have to spend 10 minutes taking the tape off one by one, and then you can have your lukewarm drink. Let's see what the manual says. Obviously it doesn't tell anything about opening a thermal paste bottle. I had to use my teeth. That was the trick. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Oh, came out pretty easily. Let's see how it's if it's applied easily or not. Okay, not so bad. I might change my name to Picasso now. This art piece is coming out quite nicely. Whatever I'm doing right now has a direct impact on the performance of the CPU. So no pressure. But then again, what am I going to be doing on the PC anyway? It's going to be trying to rendering 1080p videos on YouTube, which is going to be using the graphic card. Okay. Seems to be fine. Only the benchmarks will tell us how it turned out. We'll add this thing on top of it, the CPU cooler. And to do that, we just need a couple of screws. So if you guys can see, this is the CPU, and these two are like sort of hooks. So this thing, it has two hooks here as well. So they're gonna go into those hooks. These are the hooks. So let's go ahead with it. I'll do it one by one so the thermal paste also spreads evenly. Okay, pretty tight. There's no way to tell whether it's touching the CPU or not. This was the most daunting part, by the way. Thankfully this is done. Now I'll be trying to add the power supply to the thing to power up, juice up the whole PC. Let's take everything out. It's a lot of wires, by the way. I don't need this many. But we'll try to fish for the most important ones. So apparently there's only 3 types of slots here. One is the motherboard, and the motherboard is like 24 pin. The second is the CPU, which is 4 pin. The PCIe, which is for the graphics card, is also the same. And the third type is the SATA, which is used for like AIO, CPU cooler, and for hard disk as well, SSD and hard disk. So we're gonna try to add these things inside. So apparently there's 2 slots for the CPU. So if you're trying to overclock the CPU, by overclock I mean like trying to get the most out of it beyond the factory settings, basically, because factory settings try to limit it so that for longevity. If you try to overclock it, then you can use 2 wires so to give it more power. We have a nice Medusa looking mitochondria. So now we have to install it. So the Medusa's hair has to go in first. Oh, it fits so nicely. Honestly, this magnet thing has come in so handy. Okay, so now we have the power supply in. A lot of cable management to do, I feel. Okay, we'll have to figure that out in a bit. Come on. Nice. I feel like this is where I'll put the hard drive. Yes, it has some screws that do not line up. Oh lord, nothing has lined up today. Wow. Is it gonna be like the DDR4 thing again? Maybe it goes here in the door. Oh, it has screws the other way around as well. Let me see. Oh, yes, yes, it does have it. I can just screw it right here. By the way, this is the most aligned screw holes I've ever seen. It's like ASMR. Come on, I've sold you too much. Don't disappoint me now. Come on, bro. This magnet, I swear to God, it's a double-edged sword. It's your partner one day, the next day it's gonna stab you in the back. But it's your partner most of the days. Look at this, you can't even see it. It's like a silent storage device. We have to slide it back in. Oh, looking good, looking good. It's coming together. Okay, I think we're done with a lot of the things. We have to add the graphics card now. So I'll get started with that as well. We just have to open these panels. So according to this one video that I saw, I have to open 2 of them for like most latest graphic cards. So this is our graphics card. And apparently this is supposed to go into this slot. Is there enough space? Hopefully. First of all, this has to click. Yes, I think it has clicked. So then the same screws, they go back in. Yes. By the way, this part is too close to the bottom. I feel like it's touching the bottom. It's almost too scary. Okay, I think it's tightly in place. Oh, you see the slots? These were the slots I was talking about. Come on, let me. Okay, I think it looks good. Looks good. If not, it's gonna be a tough case for the fire department. It's turning out to be quite nice. I like it. I like how it looks. So next part is I want to plug everything in. Okay, moment of truth. After I think 10 days of building and a month of buying and another year of getting convinced to get this. By the way, it can easily blow up.
Also, your face is right in front of it in case it does blow up.
Okay, we have to start it.
Moment.
Okay.
Yeah, you built this.
Ooh, worked. Wow, unbelievable. Unbelievable that it worked. I think we should connect it to the monitor. Oh, it opened. So guys, apparently the PC did not start up after the first startup, after all that effort. So now we're gonna take it to the mall to get it fixed. We're finally back with finally the full build after so long. How long did it take, Neha? I think 20 days. Give or take that 20 more days. What happened was that after I was done building it, it worked one time, and after that it just wouldn't open. It would run everything, all the RGBs would work and stuff, and all the magic is happening, but the real magic, which is the PC CPU actually working, the monitor actually like showing something, did not work. So then I took it to store 974 again.
The ones you spent the whole video complaining about.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the tormentors who are actually the saviors. So I took it to the tormentors. They don't charge a lot actually. They just charge 100 reals. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start it up. So, oh, by the way, you know what the issue was? The main 24 pin connector that comes from the power supply to the motherboard was loose. Can you believe it?
You paid 100 reals for someone to tell you you're an idiot.
So he did like all these like other things just to show that the 24 pin connector wasn't the only issue. He installed Windows, he did cable management. I'm sure when he was doing it, he was like, oh, this is what I'm getting paid for? Like, I want to do some actual work. And also I added the 3 fans. Those are going to run for the first time. So hopefully it doesn't catch fire. The wire doesn't catch a fan. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let me turn it on from here. Ooh, it worked for the first time. These 3 fans. But they've added so much character to it. The 3 fans at the top are working as well, but you cannot see anything. Like it has to be at the top for us to see it properly. Finally, the windows is opening. So beautiful, so beautiful. What is the first thing that I'm going to do on my PC? Connect to the Wi-Fi, of course. Bulky guys, Wi-Fi is not the first thing you should do. The first thing you should do is close all the lights and see this in action. Like all of this was bought for a reason, to create a nice, very nice RGB dark room. So we're gonna close the lights. 3, 2, 1. Quite underwhelming. Quite underwhelming, isn't it? Oh, second thing that we have to do. We have to go to Microsoft Edge and download Chrome. I think the third thing I'm going to do is I'm going to download Age of Empires 4. I think that should be the first game I should play because I bought that game on a Mac 6 months ago. I was under the impression for some reason that I'm going to download it and I'm going to play it on the Mac, right? What ended up happening was I downloaded it. Obviously it didn't work. So I think by right and by ritual that should be the first thing I should be playing. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up and share with your friends and family. And if you generally like my content, please don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. Love you all.